You've been learning the language for a while. You know a lot of vocabulary. You know most of the basic grammar rules. You can read the language and understand quite a lot. And you can even listen to it or watch videos and understand quite a lot. But when it comes to speaking, you still struggle. If this is the case, you're not alone. This happens to a lot of people. Used to happen to me as well. And I'm going to give you a very simple solution that you can implement on your own. You can start doing this today. And if you do it consistently for a few weeks, you'll get way better at speaking the language. All right. Basically, what you need to do is really simple: read aloud every day, but not anything. Of course, if you read books or articles or something like that aloud, it's better than nothing and it will help, but it will not help you as much as reading something like this here aloud, because articles and books and basically anything that's actually interesting to read, real content, real written content, usually, or in most cases, has really long and complicated sentences. We don't write the way we speak, right? So if you want to improve your speaking, what you need to do is practice reading aloud sentences that are simple and short, like these ones here. And of course, sentences that are useful, realistic, practical. If you're reading aloud some article about the news and politics and things like that, you can read it aloud and okay, you're getting some practice there, but it's very unlikely that any of that will be very useful. And also, it's going to be very, very hard to then implement those long and complicated sentences in real life conversations. It's much better to do a lot of repetition with the same sentences that are actually practical and simple and short, like these ones here, than reading random stuff, right? So you should ideally do this with your language islands, with your own sentences about yourself and about the topics you normally talk about, and do a lot of repetition with them. Otherwise, you can take any other list of A1, A2 level sentences, basic sentences. Again, none of that, I do this and that because blah, 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 and then I did this and blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. Don't tell long stories yet. If you can do this easily, then you should learn to tell stories as well, because then you'll be a much better conversationalist. But before you learn to run, you need to crawl and walk, right? So the thing I recommend you do is take a list of basic, simple, practical sentences like this and start reading them aloud. And at first, it'd be really awkward. Like, what do you do on weekends? And que fais-tu le weekend? And probably pronunciation is terrible. Like mine probably is in French as well still. But if you also listen to the same sentences over and over again, and you do shadowing with them, so you listen and repeat at the same time, your pronunciation will slowly improve. And you repeat the same sentence aloud several times. Que fais-tu le weekend? And que fais-tu le weekend? And the more you listen to it, to the sentence list, the better you'll get at pronunciation. Again, don't be afraid of making mistakes with pronunciation. Nobody's perfect. But the main thing is to be able to communicate. If native speakers understand you and you can speak in complete sentences that are comprehensible and you can say it confidently, that's already better than 90% of people who try to learn a language, right? So you read the same sentences aloud, que fais-tu le weekend, and que fais-tu le weekend, and you'll slowly do it faster and faster. And fast doesn't necessarily mean good, right? You need to think fast, and you need to learn to speak faster and faster until you reach a point where you sound natural. And then you don't need to keep getting faster, right? Too fast is also not good, right? You start really slowly when you are reading in a foreign language, and pronunciation as well. Like the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. But like, je me repose, je retrouve mes amis. Second time will be faster. Je me repose. Je retrouve mes amis. And you'll also, the longer the sentence is, the more you'll struggle. But the more you do it, like the third, fourth, fifth time, you'll do it better and better. Je me repose et je retrouve mes amis. Je me repose et je retrouve mes amis. And try to say it like in a conversational tone, not like you are reading, right? And eventually, with enough repetition, you'll sound pretty good when you're speaking. Again, you need to remember the sentences as well, so you should do active recall with them. But even if you do active recall and you remember the sentences, if your mouth is not used to saying them aloud a lot, you'll still struggle, because it's one thing to remember them, like that's your brain, and then your mouth also needs to be trained for it, right? So you need to train your brain and you need to train your mouth. This exercise is for your mouth. You need to do both, and that's it. A lot of repetition aloud. Shadowing is also good, but doing it on your own with no audio files, no listening, just reading aloud, is also really good, because you are really aware of like how long it takes for you to form a sentence, and even if you don't know pronunciation that well, you'll still realize when you say something weird as, yeah, that didn't sound right. And when you say it a second time, you'll notice, okay, I sound better now. So this is an exercise, really simple. Anyone can do it. You can do it like anytime, anywhere, if you've got it on your phone. So you should start doing this now, right?